Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Anybody in the waiting room? I don't see anybody.
Yep.
Not as now.
All right, great. Well, let's get started. It is 7:30. Um, oh, weird. My clock actually says 8:30. Still on Puerto Rico time. All right. Well, let's jump right into it. This is obviously our second Zoom meeting of the BioGlow season. My name is Craig Peterman, volunteer at BadgerBots and the program delivery partner for FLL in the state of Wisconsin. Today we have three other members of our brain trust here. You all know them well: Jay Church, Allison Conrad, Brian Farrell. No sign of Hicks tonight, but maybe he'll join us
Suffer.
later. All right, so let's just get right down to business. Um, what is our first line of business? Well, the new news is the schedule was published in the newsletter today. Granted, it may require a tweak or two, but at least at the moment, this is what we're going with. Obviously, any changes that will be communicated as soon as possible. So, what this all means, though, is again, for those of you that are new, when you register for a regional event in the state of Wisconsin, that is a separate process from your registration with First. A lot of teams, that's a challenge in and of itself with First. Hopefully, our registration for a regional is much easier. It's done with a Google form. And so basically, what happens is in the newsletter, we will put the instructions in basically late September. We will then open up registration for a regional the first week of October, and this window will remain open for 2 or 3 weeks. Each team will get the opportunity to rank their preferences, top three preferences of which regional they want to participate in. And then once the window closes, I will go through all the requests, all the preferences, all the special circumstances of team 1, 2, 3 needs to be with team 4, 5, 6, or the exact opposite. They need to be at separate. Anyway, there's a lot of special requests that do get asked, and we try and do our best to meet those requests. So, as I said, coaches will get roughly 3 weeks to register. And then once the window closes, we'll go through the whole sheet and start lining up the tournaments, the teams that are going to participate in each tournament. So, historically speaking, the last 3 years, 90% of the teams get their top choice. It sometimes gets a little bit difficult when one program comes with 6 or 7 teams and they want to stay together. So sometimes it's difficult to get them their first choice. But that's just an example of why somebody might not get their first choice. Some of our regionals do have capacity restrictions, or they only have enough volunteers, or the space is only big enough. So sometimes it's just simply we don't have the capacity for it at the event that a team wants to attend. Also, history shows that the last couple tournaments or last 3 tournaments, those always get oversubscribed. Nobody is ever ready for any tournament, no matter when it is. You just have to go and give it your best shot with what you've got. But yes, everybody wants to get into those last tournaments to give themselves a little bit more time. We get it. We do. In fact, last year, because Madison was so oversubscribed, we actually added an extra day and turned it into two separate tournaments. But nonetheless, we were able to get more teams in December to participate in their regional. All right. So that those instructions and the instructions will come late September. The actual window to register will be early October. The assignment emails will come out 2 to 3 weeks into October. And in that email will also be payment instructions. So for a participation for the team in a regional event in Wisconsin is $170. That's actually down $5 from last year. And again, it's just a team fee, one time, and that is paid to Badger Bots. And of course, that will all be part of the instructions. If you need an invoice, we can create that as well. I know many of you go through your school districts and require invoices. That's fine. We can work with that. Importantly, I mean, there's a lot of leeway, latitude that we have with regards to all these administrative steps. There is one, however, that we have zero latitude, which is that every team has to have two coaches registered at first, both having completed the YPP training, the Youth Protection Program training. That is at first. There is no exception to that rule. So please don't leave it to the Friday night before your event to get that second one done, because I won't be able to get that information that it has been completed and your team will not be able to participate. That's the only like drop dead requirement. So please make sure that you as coaches get that done.
It's not just the
Um,
training, though, it's also the background check as well.
uh, thank you. Yep, you are correct.
Which,
And in fact, that
even
also
once it's
includes,
approved, has to be signed off by first, too. So there's a longer
yeah.
delay in there.
So make sure you give yourself at least a week. I would even say 2 weeks. My preference would be a month,
Do it now.
but well, you should as
It's
soon as
really not that
possible.
hard. Get it done.
Get it done with it. I think it's an hour, right? An hour of watching videos and maybe a handful of questions here and there. So really not a whole lot of excuses not to get it done. All right. Any questions about the regionals, the schedules? Oh, two important points. Every year I get questions about which regional leads up into which sectional, and the answer is at the moment I don't know, because it's going to depend on how the preferences come back, which tournaments are full, which ones are oversubscribed, which ones we have to add more to. I don't want one sectional with 10 teams and another sectional with 40. That's two very different experiences, and we're trying to keep that equal, or at least somewhat similar. So the if there is an issue for those teams that advance with the particular sectional that they're ultimately assigned to, we'll just deal with that on a team by team basis. So don't worry about which regional leads to which sectional, because we're not going to know that until after the assignments have been made. If those of you that were coaches last year, you may recall we had an Appleton tournament lined up, but nobody really, I think only just a handful of teams made that their first preference. So we chose not to do the regional at Appleton. I don't think that will happen this year, primarily because those of you that are comparing this year to last year, we actually have two fewer regionals. Franklin has chosen not to do one this year, and Golda Meir went through some well, the key volunteers went through some own. Well, Tina retired, and Andy moved to UW Milwaukee, so we don't even have any volunteers or lead volunteers for that event. So therefore, we lost two regionals versus last year. The good news is we had a lot of capacity at our existing tournaments, some of them, not all of them. So I'm very confident that we're going to have space so that hopefully, 90% of the people will get their, excuse me, 90% of the teams will get their first choice. And kind of along the same lines, what I just mentioned, because we have fewer regional events, I would expect that on average, they will be larger events, more teams. So that will be reiterated when we have our meeting with the tournament directors, that we need to make sure that our volunteer base is strong and growing, especially if you have more teams. You need more judges, you need more refs, you need more everything. So we will continue to reiterate that throughout the entire season. In fact, I'll make the first pitch. I don't know if Brian Hicks did last season. We're always looking for judges at these events. And I believe everybody that has done it will agree this is one of the best opportunities to become a better coach is by being a judge at not the tournament you're participating in, that we obviously won't do, but go to an event before the one that you're assigned to. And I think highly confident that it will make you a better coach and get your team better prepared for your particular event, assuming advancement is part of your team's goals and so on and so forth. So I'll make that first pitch, and we're going to make it again and again throughout the entire season. Hopefully, some of the coaches will step up and do so. Any questions about the schedule, registration process? Again, instructions will be coming later, but just any general questions. All right. Um, what else have we got? I want to take every opportunity I have for to spread the word, and I'm counting on all you coaches and all the volunteers. This year is a very confusing year, especially for rookie teams. The first registration process, you have to choose between a founders program and a futures program. And if you're a new coach and you're not really sure, it's unfortunate, but we have had a handful choose the futures program, and we will not be supporting futures program events in the state of Wisconsin. I did find out today that Minnesota is going to try to support it depending on demand and possibly host an event on the futures program. I've made a soft reservation just in case there are any Wisconsin teams. They might be able to go over to Minnesota and participate over there, but it also is going to be such that there will be no advancement. It's just going to be the one event, and that'll be the culmination of the season. So, as far as an investment in Wisconsin, we decided it just wasn't worth it, both from a financial perspective and from a learning perspective. So we're 100% founders in Wisconsin. First headquarters, they know that. I have reiterated that to them on multiple occasions, but sometimes the message doesn't get through to the people that are on the other end of the email. So thank you, everybody, for your patience and understanding, and also for spreading the word in your local communities in Wisconsin. Go with the Founders Program if you want to participate in an official event that allows advancement. All right. Again, I apologize if I'm repeating myself multiple times, but I've got to get that out there every opportunity I can. I don't want, we already have one team, unfortunately, that went down the path of futures and is trying to get off that path. And it's very costly and frustrating. And I feel horrible. Um, it's just not something that the current system allows us to get ahead of. We unfortunately get the information on the back end. So that's where we are. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? All right. I'm assuming our judges, Brian, anything to bring up?
Nothing super specific. Just remember there is a innovation project uh, component to it, not just the robot game. So it's always better to kind of keep them moving the whole season long. So, and it's a great thing if you don't have your field kits yet, you can start. I know you're going to do training for the kids on the robot and building and programming, but also it's a great, you can get started on the innovation project as well.
To reiterate, the rubrics are identical to last year.
Word for word.
There we go. All right. I won't put necessarily our head referees, Jay and Allison, on the spot here because unfortunately, First has not authorized sending me the sets for Badger Bots, the sets for the upcoming season. So I do not have sets to give Allison and Jay to play around. But with that in mind, Jay, Allison, anything you need to talk about?
Allison, do you
You
have
want to go through
anything?
the Slack questions, Jay?
Yeah, I have a list of stuff. Some things for newer coaches, some of the stuff we've done on Slack. As Craig alluded to, we really can't go over the game with you because we don't have our models. But we can certainly go over rules with you if you have questions, anything like that. That being said, I have just a list of some general questions we've already had, as well as some general information that may be helpful. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Sorry, I can't hear myself. Okay, so this is not necessarily geared towards anyone here. If there are new people, new coaches that watch this video or maybe here, there may be some helpful information here. So it kind of jumps around a little bit. I was just making a list as it came to my head. So table heights, we had a question about that earlier this year. Craig did put it in the newsletter. But if you are building tables, if you're a new coach, new team building tables, our tournament tables are very close to 29 inches for deck height. And by that, I mean where the mat sits on the table and where the models go on the mat. That's right at 29 inches. A standard set of sawhorses is between 28 and 30 inches. If you build them yourself, they're usually about 29. So you should be pretty close to where you need to be. We do suggest if you're building tables from scratch, please shoot for that. That way your teams will be more familiar with that height at tournament. So one side note on that, there's a couple tournaments that use their own tables. I don't remember exactly where their height was. It was a little bit shorter. When we have a tournament director meeting, I will get the height of those tables for you guys. It is a little bit shorter than 29 inches, but most of the tournaments will use BadgerBot tables, so they will be the same tables that go to all the events. Okay, so just random information and questions. There is a 12-inch height limit. That height limit is for inspection only. So when you're inspecting your robot at the beginning of the match, this is more for new coaches. I had a coach ask me if there's a height limit for launching. The height limit is not for launching, it's only for your inspection. If you go through your manual, you'll see the inspection process there. Yes, you can use your hands to hold, to contain your equipment as you're doing inspection, okay? The storage space to the right and left of the respective red and blue home areas, that's not the top or bottom of the table. As I like to say, north is up, south is down. So the red and blue, there's additional storage space that's allowed. Whoever's bringing that up, thank you. Okay.
Where do you want me to be?
To the table. That's
This one?
yeah, that's good right there.
Okay.
So if you guys see if you see the quarter circle on the left and right, the red and blue, what you're allowed to use for additional storage is the very left side of the 2x4s there. Yes, anywhere along that area, you can hang stuff over the side. That tends to be a function that that teams like to use. But you cannot hang stuff from the south or bottom wall or the north wall. For teams that don't know, that north wall is a shared wall. So at tournaments, there will be another table on the other side of that. So you can't get to that to hang stuff anyway. Okay. Yes, you can launch from either area. Team asked me that. You can launch from red area or blue area. There's a whole thing about, passing stuff between right and left sides, red and blue sides. We'll probably get into that at a different time. That's a pretty in-depth situation there. No holding the jig down this year. You can use a jig. You cannot hold it down. For people that don't know what I mean by jig, it's an alignment tool that some people build to line the robot up for launching. Okay. This is one that we did have in Slack. I was very careful to not give away any of the strategic questions we had there, Allison. The robot can return to anywhere inside the home area. So that is, remember, after launching your robot, the quarter circle that you launch from also becomes home. Brian, there's a table outline that has, I think it's up further. It's outlined in yellow. Yeah, right there.
There you go.
So
Okay.
anywhere in the yellow is considered home after launch. So if you follow the quarter circle, where you have the red and blue dotted lines, that's also yellow. So after you launch your robot, that becomes home. So the whole boot, as Allison likes to call it, your robot can absolutely return to anywhere in there. And your robot is free to operate in those the sides too. That was another one that we had in Slack. Can a robot travel inside home to as part of mission strategy? Yes, you can. The robot can absolutely travel. You can launch from one of the circles, go into the home area, travel up, come out of the home area, whatever. Just be careful that when you touch your robot, if it's not completely in the home area, you'll get a touch penalty and you'll have to relaunch. So do be cautious of that. As someone said today, Katie does not have to be a game of chance. I'm not going to give away any strategy there. There are teams that are taking it as a personal mission to solve this and figure out how to deal with this. One of the coaches today said, it's just a matter of return on investment. Like, how much time do you want to spend figuring this out? So do not be discouraged. Figure out if it's worth your time to figure it out. There are teams that are working on it. There are teams that have figured out how to do this without being a game of chance. Okay. The keystone species, I forget which one that is, Brian. The note says it can be made with bag 20. It does not say it must be made with bag 20. And I apologize, Brian. I'm not that familiar with everything is yet.
I'm catching up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget where that. Here we
I
go.
know I didn't help by just randomly putting stuff in here, but that's kind of how my brain was working at the moment.
No, that's fine. What was that one called again?
Keystone species. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You're referring to this here?
Yes, correct. So you can use the bricks in bag 20 to build your keystone species model. Alice and I both agree that can is not a must. So do what you feel you want to do there. The bricks are there for you to use, but it does not say you must. Okay. Do be aware that can you find one with an equipment constraint? There's 15 has one actually.
15. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So new teams, this is very, very important. Some missions have a no equipment constraint. If you see the Lego block in the top corner of your missions, what that is telling you is at the end of the match, when we're scoring, no equipment can be touching the mission model. Okay? Now, two parts of this. You have to understand what equipment means. Equipment, by definition, is all items that teams bring to the match, including the robot, attachments, and any other material specifically specified in the rules. Oddly enough, one thing is not a piece of equipment. That is your sheet of notebook paper that you're allowed to bring. So teams, you can bring a sheet of notebook paper for each side. So one for each side for program notes. Does not count as equipment. That's kind of everything I have. I would like to echo what Craig said earlier. From doing this a very, very long time and seeing a lot of teams and a lot of seasons, I can definitely say the two things that I see over a season that really helps you become a better coach and a better team in general. If you can find a scrimmage, find one. Okay. I'm sure in the next few weeks we're gonna start getting scrimmage information. Even if you're a new team and you're afraid you're not ready yet, go to a scrimmage. It's super helpful. If you can do it, definitely do it. You can see more experienced teams, how they come to the table, how they run missions. Brian, is it okay to give Waukesha? Okay, Waukesha does have a scrimmage plan for Halloween, October 31st. Feel free to come out. Allison, are you accepting
Yes.
any teams or?
I am. The Shout Robotics FLL scrimmage will be October 17th, and it will be taking place during the All Girls Robotics Tournament for FRC as well, in Milwaukee area.
So if you can, definitely do. The second thing, again, as Craig said, if you want to really understand the game, how it works, find somewhere to sign up, volunteer, go through the training. Probably the biggest thing I have seen when I was coaching, the thing that changed my life as a coach was volunteering to judge. So once you understand those rubrics, it's like a cheat sheet from there. I mean, when you understand what the coaches are really looking for and trying to get the teams to do in the process, you really understand the whole world opens then. And you're not just guessing, we think this is what should be good. You'll kind of know what you're looking for. Definitely volunteer to referee. That's an option as well. I mean, being a referee, I love seeing referees, but I will tell you, I do believe that judging is probably more important as far as learning what teams are or what they're looking for. The rule book and refereeing is kind of self-explanatory, and we'll go through rules and stuff with you as we go, but the whole inside process of judging is definitely something I think you should do. Okay. That's what I have. Sorry for being scatterbrained. I jotted stuff down at the last moment.
I guess I'd like to reiterate that, Jay said, try to come, especially important if you don't think you're ready for the new thing.
Absolutely.
And for the new teams, come, you'll learn. We've had teams learn a lot of varied things. You can talk to other teams. That's one of the great things about FIRST is teams help teams. You get to go through, Allison, you're going to have judging at yours, right?
Yeah, we'll have the selection sheet so teams can select how in-depth of judging they want again.
And Waukesha will also have judging. That's a great experience. Experienced teams come and use that as a calibration for their team and their project. Do the same thing as a rookie team. You'll learn a lot. It's extremely helpful to go to the scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't want to just harp on scrimmages, but I will bring up one more point because I think it's really important. We're there to help you as well at scrimmage. So you have experienced referees, you have super experienced referees, and we know the rule book. And if we see you doing something that you can't do that's going to cost you points, or not doing something where you can gain points, we can help you more at scrimmage because we can say, hey, have you thought about this? Or, you can't do this, where we can't really do that at tournament for you. So if you're there a few weeks before your tournament, you might be able to troubleshoot, or we might be able to troubleshoot something for you that you don't even know is a problem. So, yep.
If you show up the day of the event at a tournament and you find out that you're trying to do something wrong, that could be a huge impact on your game strategy.
Okay. Questions for, I guess, anything really at this point? All right.
If not, let me add three more topics here, so to speak. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but with the schedule, we will not be having a dedicated rookie new team event like we did last year at Golda Meir. One, we lost Golda Meir as a regional, but we also, as I mentioned, we're condensed a little bit more this year, fewer events, and so therefore making one dedicated just for rookie and new teams. I'm a little bit worried that it's not going to work out for the broader community. So we are going to bypass that this year. As you saw, or hopefully saw in the newsletter, we do have quite a few free agents, individual kids that are looking for teams. So the link is in the newsletter. If you have the ability, capacity, take a look, see if they're geographically and demographically a fit for your team. It'd be wonderful if we could get some of these kids an opportunity. Historically, the answer has always been just go make a new team. And unfortunately, that's not exactly an answer for a lot of kids and families. So we will continue to reiterate that probably through the first few weeks of September. As the season progresses, obviously it gets more and more difficult for teams to add new members. So we're not going to push it at that point. But it's quite possible we've already made two connections. So I'm actually very encouraged by that. And so I'm just asking your help to continue to monitor that opportunity for those kids. And then the last thing, tomorrow night, I thought I saw, is Peggy on the call? Can I put her on the spot here a second? So tomorrow night, First Wisconsin and Badger Bots, we're having a State of the Union type Zoom call. It's not going to be specific to FLL. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's going to be very general and all the different programs, including the high school programs, FTC, FRC. I will be presenting FLL. Um, but I guess my question for Peggy was, I think there's a registration process.
Yes, there is. Let me see if I can find the link for that and I will drop it in the chat.
That would be awesome. Thank you, Peggy.
Yep.
I meant to put it in the newsletter, but I wasn't totally 100% focused today either. So I just wanted to make sure we got the schedule out. But again, tomorrow night, it would be good information about first programs in general in the state of Wisconsin. I'm not going to be sharing anything new about FLL, so but it still might be valuable to hear about what else is going on and other volunteer opportunities because believe it or not, you need a lot of volunteers for the high school program events as well. And I'm sure that will be a theme the entire season.
Yep.
Um,
Peggy's digging that up. BadgerBots website, badgerbots.org. Go to robotics, Wisconsin First Lego League. There's a lot of good resources out here. From the events are there. Some notes regarding the changes to FLL that are coming up. And then down here, where is I slipped past it? Oh yeah, resources and help. So some season material, links, YouTube, Wisconsin YouTube channel. Then if you're not on the newsletter, subscribe to it. Training for coaches, connecting kids with FLL teams. That's what Craig was talking about. So a lot of good resources here. And then did the referees thing get posted yet?
I believe we
tips.
took that down, but we'll re-add it.
Yep.
Both a ref corner and a judging corner, judge advisor corner.
Yep.
Yeah, as we get more, well, I think last year Jay and Allison put together actually a very impressive and comprehensive list of refereeing issues, game issues that certainly don't get explained very well in the the game rule book provided by First. So when we get them their sets and they decide on what the rules in the state of Wisconsin are going to be, I'm sure that they will put together something pretty thorough again. And we will post it here at the Badger Bots website that Brian has pulled up.
Go back to it.
Peggy, you can feel free to post that link in the Slack channel as well. I won't put it on the YouTube channel because by the time I get it up there, it'll be past. So
I'm just throwing up here for people on the call right now, though. This
Yep.
is the website.
Yep, I got you.
Here's where you can register for the call. It's a pretty painless process.
Let's see, anything in the chat room?
Sorry, a message on Slack just popped in. I didn't know if we needed to share it or not. We're good.
No, I mean, thank you for
Oh,
getting the
that's-
dates out early. Someone was
Yep.
asking to confirm the scrimmage dates, which we posted in there. And then
Well, actually,
Peggy put the link in.
let me just add a comment to having the schedule ready. That's 100% the tournament directors and that group of dedicated volunteers. that secure their venues, get their dates. They do a fabulous job. Some of them are already, the season is barely over and they're already securing their venue for the next season. So I'm lucky because we have great tournament directors for FLL that secure the season. So whatever event you go to, feel free to thank the tournament directors for what they do because quite frankly, those events don't exist without them and their crew of volunteers. So we're very lucky in that regard. Scrimmages. All right. Any other questions? Comments? Any questions for coaches? We're opening it up. Otherwise, we'll call it an evening. Because guess what? We're gonna meet again next week anyway. So,
And Michael, I don't
yeah.
know if you solved the issue that you were dealing with, if you had talked to Craig or not, but if you need to talk to him, you can stay after class. The one we were talking about Slack.
I have not talked to Craig yet.
Okay,
But
you might want to.
I'll speak afterwards.
For sure.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
All
Slack
right.
channel.
Well, if nothing
Slack
else,
channel.
yeah.
As Craig mentioned, we do have a Slack channel. Can anybody grab a link real quick to that? I don't know if I can. The Slack channel is very active. If you guys, that's one of the a very easy way to get a hold of us. There is a referee channel there. There is a judge channel there. We are pretty quick on that. Allison was really quick on it this morning, even beat me to it. So we try to answer your questions as soon as we can. You can also reply back to the newsletter that Craig sends out, and he will triage your request and send you where you need to be. So there are tons of resources for us. We're very blessed in the state of Wisconsin to have a great community where all the coaches and people in high level places are here to help. So definitely use that stuff. I think is there a link to Slack in the newsletter, Craig?
No.
I don't believe in the newsletter, but with the welcome letter that goes out to the coaches of teams that register, the link is in that email.
I will pull one as well, and
I just dropped it in the chat.
got it. Okay, so I will put one on the in the comment section for the YouTube, the description section there too. So if you guys need to go to Slack, if you haven't found it yet, definitely hit that, and it's a great resource. All right, that's it for me.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
If nothing else from the coaches, anything else? Going once, twice. Okay. Good luck to the coaches with your teams, and hope you all have amazing seasons. A lot of moving parts, both on and off the field.
Amen.
So anyway, good luck everybody, and we'll see you next Monday. Good night.